Hello and thanks for watching my video. Today I'm doing a video dedicated to the best skins in the game regarding weapons. And that's because ArenaNet have done a fantastic job with making customization so incredible in terms of being able to customize your characters in terms of armor and weapons. But today we're going to be focusing on weapons. It's actually going to be a two-part video just because of how many weapons there are in the game. Funny enough, I did a quick count. As of today, there are almost 2,500 weapon skins in the game, which is incredible. The fact that some people have actually gone through and cut and created every single one of those. It's really tremendous work. So this is going to be a bit of a divisive video, I know, because I'm going to be giving my top 3 skins of each particular weapon, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. If I've missed out on any of a particular skin, if you think your skin that, for example, if there's a sword that you like, or is there a shield that I've not included, it'd be great to hear what your reasons and thoughts on that. So again, this is going to be a two-part video because, as I said, there's a huge amount of weapons, so we're going to split it into half. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to go in and actually going to preview a lot of these, because some of the skins I don't actually have. So here you go, you can see all the weapon skins that we actually have, and we're going to start off with the sword. So for me, the third best skin in the game in terms of swords it's Infinite Light. Now Infinite Light is this skin over here. It's a tremendous skin. I believe it was in Guild Wars 1. Phenomenal really design on this, and it's kind of a very expensive weapon to get. But the elegance of it, it's, you know, very nice effect. Really good sword. I really love this. It's one of the weapons that prior to Heart of Thorns, prior to Guild Wars 2, actually, you know, 4 years ago coming out, I actually looked at the skin and thought, you know what, this would look really cool on my character, and you know, I really would like that. I haven't had the time to, you know, an inclination to save up for that. The second best skin, in my opinion, for swords is bolts. Again, you know, the overall design is okay. You know, if you take out the electrical effects, it's kind of an interesting design on the actual sword. But in my opinion, with the effects, it really hammers home what the effects is incredible. Not only that, the footsteps you actually get that really add to the effect as well. But bolt's a really beautiful weapon, really fantastic. Everybody, you know, really wants to have that type of weapon. But it's not my number one. Now, there are a few other weapons that I would have considered, you know, along here. However, for me, it's, again, my opinion. So I'm going to have a slight bias. And so for me, the best weapon skin in the game right now is this one, and that's the Fiery Dragon Sword. Now, obviously, you know, Riplock wields this. It's a Guild Wars 1 skin, and that's probably why I like that. And not only that, it is a skin that you can only get by completing Guild Wars 1's achievements. So it's an interesting one for those of you who haven't played Guild Wars 1 and might not get this skin. I do love this skin. I have this on a number of characters. For me, it's the best sword skin overall. We're going to move on now. We're going to go on to Hammer. Now, Hammer, there's a few interesting ones here, but for me, the number 3 one isn't Entropy, which looks like that, but it's its sister, and that's Genesis. It's the effect. It's a beautiful design hammer. And it's that beautiful effect of the sort of glow and attracting things to it. It's a wonderful skin, and really, you know, if you get smashed to death with this hammer, you can actually look down smiling. And then number 2 is actually going to be Juggernaut. Now, Juggernaut is the legendary weapon. If I can find it, oh, it's the Juggernaut, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. So this is the Juggernaut. Now, you may think, okay, it's a bit of it's kind of boring in terms of just the weapon on its own. But I will have to say, one of the things I love it's the detailing on the fact that you've got this man holding up the world. It's like the Atlas. The fact that someone has actually created this weapon in real life as a sort of, you know, role-playing type thing. And I really just love this. And not only that, when you actually wield it, your character goes silver. It's a beautiful weapon, and the effects that it has makes it even more impressive. The fact that when you wield it, it actually splashes silver around, which you don't get to see on the preview. But for me, the number 1, and this is where I think the first start will be, people start coming in with a few different ones, is a Phoenix Hammer. Now, this is a Black Lion skin, and for me, one of the reasons why I like this skin is just because of the design, the effect. I love the fact that it has a flat face, which is obviously what a hammer should be. The fact that it glows is incredible, and then you've got this flame effect, this sort of rocky You know, it's just so intricate and beautiful design, and for me that's why this is my favorite hammer skin in the game. That I feel that a lot of people will disagree with me on that, but it'd be great to hear your thoughts. The third weapon we're going to be looking at is the longbow. So let's have a look at the longbow. Now again, these may be kind of divisive, but I'm not a big fan of some of these longbow skins. But for me, the number 3, which will be the third best one, will be, if I can find it, the Timekeeper one. So the Timekeeper longbow, I love this skin, even though I don't have it. It's so elegant, so intricate. I love the crystal sort of, the actual crystal material. The gold finishing is beautiful. And then you've got these wonderful, you know, clockwork mechanisms. Again, when you see it wielded, you can see them spinning around. I mean, it just looks so beautiful. Fantastically designed weapon. Again, credit to ArenaNet designers for creating this. Number 2 is Kudzu. Kudzu, the legendary weapon. Again, it's kind of a beautiful, intricate weapon. Not really great fan of the actual sort of bow itself, in my personal opinion, but I can appreciate the design. I mean, that is a phenomenally designed bow. You know, having that character there, the moving sort of petals, and this bow in the middle. I mean, that is amazing. But it's not my number 1, and the number 1, I will admit, is a kind of biased thing, but I love the ley line longbow, especially when you ping it back. These actually ping back, these pieces here, when you fire longbows. I love the ley line longbow because it's just that wonderful flowing magic. For me, it's the best longbow in the game, and I'm sure some other people will disagree on that, but that's fine. This is my opinion, and I'd like to hear yours. Anyway, that's enough of me disagreeing with you guys. I'm going to go through and talk about some of these other weapons, and you're just going to have to live with my choices. But number 3 for the shortbow is the living longbow. Again, it's a skin that you can get from Guild Wars 1. I love it. Very similar to Kudzu in terms of this sort of nature and naturalistic look. And I just love this because it is a just simple design, but it's very, very beautiful. And considering they made this at the launch of Guild Wars 2, I do love this weapon in particular. The number 2 is, again, it's a skin, and I wouldn't have actually thought this initially, but going through this, I really do love the glittering shortbow. It's really beautiful effect, and it's probably the best glittering weapon, I think, out there. And so that's why I've chosen to go with this as my number 2 choice. Whereas my number 1, I think a lot of people can guess what this is going to be. It's going to be Chikurin Champawat. There is no doubt. I mean, I will admit, it is a bit of a hefty weapon. But it is an elegant. I mean, just look at the effect that you get. You've got the 2 tigers with the glowing red eyes. I mean, the glowingness, the red skin. I mean, that is just a beautiful weapon in terms of design. It's kind of simplistic in some terms, but with the tigers on one hand, I mean, that looks so beautiful. What a weapon that is. So that's the shortbow. The next skin we have is an axe. Now, for me, the number 3 axe is, again, a skin that comes back to Guild Wars 1, and that is the Chaos Axe, a skin that everybody loved in Guild Wars 1, and that, even though it's kind of simple, it is a skin that it's for me, one of the favourites out there. The number 2 is actually a skin you get from World vs. World. This is the Mistforged Hero skin, and it's this particular tail that I love. You can see it wispy around. Just the effect on it is so beautiful with an elegant design. It's one of my favourite axes in the game. And number 1 is a legendary, and it is Astrolaria. I mean, come on. Astrolaria is an astounding skin. It's one of the best effects in the game. I mean, just look at all the detailing going on. There is no other clear winner. This is one of the clear winners of all the weapons. It is an amazing skin. We move on. I'm going through these rattling quite quickly because, as I said, I don't want to spend too much time. I want to try and get through as many as possible. So what we're going on to next is we're going on to the dagger. Now, the dagger, again, there's a lot of interesting choice, but for me, the number 3 skin, and I know this is going to cause some doubt, is Marjorie's one. And I love this effect. Now, some people have actually mentioned this may be a wiggly penis, but I disagree on that front. I actually think this is a really cool dagger, and I love it. There's no other dagger, really, that has this amazing effect on there. Number 2 is, again, very similar to the axe in terms of Mistforged weapon. This is the Mistforged axe, and the Mistforged dagger. And this, again, it's just an incredibly beautiful design. It really works well with thieves, especially doing dagger thieves. These two daggers in conjunction are actually epic. And then number one, I think there's no doubt what's going to be number one. People already know this. It's the most popular dagger in the game, and that is the Incinerator. Now, the Incinerator for me is clear winner. I mean, it's not the typical dagger, but it is a beautiful effect. It's incredible. It's one of the best designed legendaries in the game, in my opinion. If you actually just look at the weapon here, I mean, it is incredible the whole how this weapon came about. It's one of my favorite weapons, and I wish I could have that weapon. Maybe in the long term. So and then we move on to greatsword. We'll do a few more and then we'll end this video. But we'll move on to greatsword. Now number 3 is the weapon. It was probably the first weapon I actually got in the game, that a skin I actually wanted to go for, and that's Vision of the Mists. It's a very, very elegant weapon. It's a beautiful skin, and definitely something I would recommend a lot of people having it. I actually wielded this on my warrior, incidentally, rather than Mesmer. I just think it's a lovely weapon. Number 2, again, it's a skin that I have, and it's the one that I'm very, very proud of, and that's Volcanus. I really do love this skin. Obviously, Elementalists will be familiar with this being the fiery greatsword, but I think this is a phenomenal weapon skin on its own. The glowing effect, it really does got the feel of this volcanic, fiery greatsword, and it's great to have that permanently. And then number 1, now I could have been a bit boring and gone for one of the legendary weapons, and I did. There is no doubt that the legendary greatswords, a lot of people have them, but for me, Twilight is it's an epic sword. I mean, just look at it. It's so detailed. The whole whisper, effect is wonderful, and I can't fault it. There are other greatswords that I think out there that are fantastic, but for me, there isn't anything better than Twilight. So that's the greatsword, and we're moving on to the mace. Now, the mace, for me, there's not a great deal of mace skins that I find fantastic. For me, the number 3 skin is this one here. It's the golden mace skin. You've got this, if you can see here, the bit that actually moves. You can see as you swing it around, part of the mace actually moves, and I love the golden effect. It's quite detailed, and for me, that's why it's number 3. You could go with things like Kevin, which are kind of boring, just like that. It's just a bone. But for me, number 2 is the Moot. Now the Moot, I love this weapon, but it's very funky. It's a beautifully designed weapon, but it kind of doesn't fit in with the Guild Wars 2 in terms of like the immersion, and that's one of the reasons why it's not number 1. It is a beautiful weapon, I will admit that, but it's just not quite there. It does have a lot of good effects. The little speakers firing out confetti. I mean, God, it's beautiful, but it's not my number 1. And that is the Timekeeper Mace. Now, I love this mace. This was my favourite Timekeeper weapon. Not only have you got an amazing sort of skin, the actual material, you've got the maces going opposite directions, which I love, and then you've got the clockwork on top. I love this mace. It is a beautiful mace, and for me, it's the best mace skin in the game. We're moving on, and now we're going to do the pistol. The pistol, for me, is kind of... It's a bit of a boring weapon. A lot of them are kind of small. You look at the Chaos weapon. Again, I like this old styly Western rifle. You've got things like, this is a pretty cool pistol skin. But for me, the number 3 weapon skin is the Tormented pistol. I do love this pistol. I think it's a really cool design. It actually makes the pistol look a little bit bigger than what it usually is, and so that's why I actually went for this. It's one of my favourite skins in the game. Number 2 is Liss. Liss, if we can actually look, Liss's Gaze is kind of the same as Liss. You've also got another one, it's Chaos Gun. The Chaos Gun, is the Chaos Gun Experiment. It's a very similar one. Both the pistols actually look very identical. So I actually like this skin. I think it's pretty cool. The glowing purpley pinky effect is one of my favorite effects in the game. And that's kind of why a lot of the weapons on there are actually showing up in the terms of what skins I'm picking. But not the number 1. Now the number 1, you're right, is going to be a legendary weapon. And so we move down and let's find Quip. It's not Quip. It's not Quip. Quip, for me, I hated that weapon skin. I actually got the Chaos Gun as a drop, a precursor from the failed Karkra event disaster. And so I actually sold that because I didn't like Quip. And for me, the other one is Hope. And Hope is an amazing... It's my favourite, almost my favourite legendary. I love this. Brilliant to go around and craft that. And I love the effects that when you fire it, you can fire this like laser bolt. It's incredible. It is one of my favorite legendaries in the game. So we're going to move on. The final weapon of this video we're going to be doing is going to be the rifle. We're going to come back to some of the other ones in another video. But the rifle, for me, the third best is actually just a generic skin. It's Levi's Detector. I do love this particular skin. I love the way it glows and it moves throughout the rifle. I think this is a really cool rifle. You know, there are other weapons, you know, like the Exterminator, which is kind of similar. Also, you've got the massive Azure railgun. But I think the Levi's Detector is number 3. Number 2 is the Tormented rifle, in my opinion. You know, again, it came close to the Timekeeper one, but I feel that the Tormented rifle is a better skin. I love this skin. The swirliness of, you know, the pink glowing effect, it really, really works very, very well. And number 1, it's kind of a given that this is one of my favorite skins in the game today, and that would be the Predator. There it is. There's the Predator. I mean, just look at that. I mean, that is a hell of a gun. I mean, God. Again, these are like skins going back to the launch of Guild Wars 2, and these are epic. I mean, just look at that. What a skin. And again, it does give you the different sound effects and different shooting effects. Really, really cool gun, and that's why that's my number 1 rifle. So we're going to come back and we're going to look at shields, staffs, warhorns, focuses, harpoons, scepters in the next video. It'd be great to hear your thoughts on if you've got any disagreements, if you have any ideas for what you think the best skin that we haven't covered should be. Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one.
Raids, PvP, legendary weapons, how to make gold in Guild Wars 2, and Maikai Talk. Please use these links below to help support my channel, and I'll keep producing content you enjoy.